So I'm going to do a quick review of the book, The 5 Love Languages. Give you some of the main takeaways that I took from the book and how you can implement that into your own life. So first thing is, the first really important concept to understand is that the average in-love experience only lasts about 2 years. So after that, you're probably not going to have this like crazy in-love feeling. And after that, love becomes more of a choice rather than like a strong in-love feeling that you have. Like the first 2 years, it's all like the honeymoon stage where you're just like head over heels, kind of in love, and everything is perfect. And it doesn't even matter what your partner does or says, like everything's just absolutely amazing. But the reality is that after that first stage, you have to make a choice to continue to love your partner and to stay with your partner and to be with your partner. So a lot of people don't realize that, and after about 2 years, they kind of just like, well, I don't feel deeply in love anymore, so maybe I should just leave this person or whatever else. And that's not really the way to do it. You have to just decide, like, do I want to care and love this person forever or not? And do you think that this person is the right match for you? Do your values align? Are you aligned with how you guys see the future together and things of that nature, as opposed to more of it being like a feeling? Like it's only the first two, on average about 2 years, that you have this deep, like in love kind of feeling in your body. So I want to quickly go over the 5 love languages with you guys to see if you guys can recognize which one are you, or if you're single, or if you're in a relationship, which one is your partner. And once you guys realize which one you are and which one your partner is, then you can really show more love and also be able to receive more love once you know yourself and how you feel love and how that other person takes love. So let me explain it to you before it sounds super confusing here. So the first one on the list we'll talk about is words of affirmation. Okay? So if this is your love language, then you feel loved when somebody gives you praise. Like they're like, you know, like, hey Jack, like you're doing an excellent job. I respect you. You're a good businessman. You're a good poker player. You're a good this and that. You're a great lover. Like all these things. So if your love language is words of affirmation, you really appreciate and feel loved when people come to you and they talk about how amazing you are. They verbalize it. And same with your partner. If your partner likes things like that, then that's probably their primary love language as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Very straightforward. The second love language is physical touch. So physical touch can mean anything from sex to hugging to holding hands to massaging, any sort of like physical affection. If you feel most loved when there's some physical touch, then that's your love language. Same for your partner. Third one is gifts. So if you feel most loved when you're receiving gifts, let's say when somebody buys you a present, it could be a thoughtful present, it could be an expensive present, it doesn't matter as long as it's somewhat thoughtful. If you're receiving gifts and you're like, wow, this person really cares about me, they love me. And so that would mean your love language is probably gifts. And same thing for your partner. I'm going to teach you how to find out exactly what your love language is if at the end of this you're confused, or how to find out your partner's love language if at the end of this you're confused in a second. Let me just go through the 5. So the fourth one is acts of service. So this could mean anything from like cleaning the house or doing the laundry or washing the dishes or doing anything to kind of help. If somebody does something like that for you, whether it's like keeping the house clean, keeping all the floors clean, doing the laundry and doing all those things, if that's what makes you feel most loved, then that's your love language, and same for your partner. And then the fifth, last one is quality time, which means any like time with undivided attention. So for example, if you like to have like dinners with your partner, no phones, just kind of you and them just kind of conversating and going into it, or talking right before bed, just kind of with no distractions, or just doing anything with no distractions, spending time with each other and just being very present in the moment, then that's probably your love language is going to be quality time. So those are the 5 love languages. So the way you can know which love language you have is there's a test. I'm going to link the test down below here. I'm going to find it online. I'm going to link it to you guys. It's a very short test. You take it and it'll tell you what your love language is. And you can have your partner take it as well, or you can take it for your partner as well too if you wanted to, so you can know what their love language is. And one clue, if you didn't want to take the test for whatever reason, or you kind of want to know right this second, some of you guys might be hearing this and you know exactly what your love language is. You're like, oh dude, Jack, it's definitely that one, and my partner is definitely that one. Some of you guys have it all figured out. But if you don't, there's some clues besides for taking the test that I'm going to link down below. You can basically, so any area that your partner or you, if you criticize your partner, for example, if you say to your partner, like, why don't you spend enough time with me? Or why aren't we more affectionate? Like, why aren't we touching each other more? The touching one would be, your love language is probably physical touch. Or the first one, if you're like, why aren't we spending enough time? Or your partner says, why don't you spend enough time with me? Their love language is probably quality time. Or if it's words of affirmation, their love language, maybe they might be criticizing you, saying like, why don't you tell me that you appreciate me more? Why don't you tell me that you love me more? Why don't you do this? Why don't you say this? That's a good clue as to what their love language is, or your love language, if you're criticizing them in that way. So once you figure this out, once you know what your love language is, what your partner's love language is, then you can begin to really love them, love your partner in the way that they feel love and they want to feel loved. And then you can kind of tell your partner, this is my love language, this is how I feel love, so you can love me in that way. And so you guys can basically fill each other's needs a lot better than you have in the past without knowing each other's love language. So this book is fucking huge. It's sold I think it's sold like, I don't remember the number, maybe like 16 million copies. It's been like translated into 25 different languages. It's a really short book. If you want to buy it and read it, I highly recommend it. It's only like 2.5 hours and it's very insightful. 2.5 hours on Audible. So it's a really short book if you wanted to get it. I'm going to link it down below. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys want to share what your love language is with me, that'd be interesting. So mine is physical touch. It's close between physical touch and words of affirmation. It's mainly physical touch. You usually have a primary one, and you'll see like after you take this test which one you have. So yeah, let me know which love language you guys have. Let me know if you guys find this interesting. If you do find it super interesting, definitely pick up the book and read it. I highly recommend it. And let me know your thoughts on the book or your love language or anything at all. Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video.